am inevitable.
What's up, people? What's going on? We are back with another episode of the Ahsoka Roundtable. And yes, like Danny pointed out in the backstage, I did upgrade the background because I'm looking at the replay of the show and I'm like, it just looks like a back screen because the Ahsoka's in the middle of it. So when we're all on screen together, you can't see anything, right? So I said, you know what? I got to try something different. What up, LB? Long time no see. What up, Boswell? What up, David?
How you guys doing? I was actually talking about Brian's background.
Oh no! So I had to take all the Funko Pops. It took me 6 gallon containers to get all my Funko Pops put up because I'm moving. So I had to like put them up because we got showings and all that stuff, and I had some nice ones. But 6 30-gallon containers, 212 Funko Pops.
Are you out of your mind?
You can tell who's got money to throw away, boy.
No, it's funny.
At him, boy.
But I actually I categorized them. I got all the names. I listed it all down, so I know exactly what I have, exactly where everything is. Because if I'm missing one, I'm coming after everybody. Anyone come in my house?
Man, I could imagine him putting them together. It's like, okay. Hey, wait a minute. There's one missing here. Oh, he'd be calling the movers, yo, motherfuckers, where's my Funko Pop?
I got cameras back here just in case. Like, hey, what you doing looking at my stuff, bro?
And it would probably be the T'Challa one they take too. You know what I mean? Like, let's take the T'Challa one because we don't need to recast.
Oh my God.
Anyways, guys, we're gonna go around the panel so they can shout out their channels. What up, Hot Takes? Thanks for popping in. Much appreciated. Jason Lee Tucker's here. And I did say DQ just in case you didn't hear me the first time. But Mr. Graham, shout out your channel. Let the people know where they can find you, sir.
Oh, you can catch me on Mondays on the Chaos Central channel with Anzo and Chris Knight. And you also can catch me Wednesdays on the Hangout with Guy Scar. And also sometimes I pop in on the OOC. Of course, on Sunday nights, we got one more week of this on Roundtable. And then later on tonight at 10, you can catch me on Storms Live. And every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I deliver a word, quote, and scripture of the day on a little show that I call The Road to Wisdom. So please check me out.
Absolutely. And you are correct, Nerd Man. 4 black guys in war. 100%.
All fools.
JG, where can they find you, sir?
Wednesday nights on the OOC with the great Anzo, the great Roberto, and the amazing, the outstanding, always strong in the force, Danny, a.k.a. The Road to Wisdom, a.k.a. You can hate him now, but you want something now because he can't stop now. You can also find me with my homie Superwise talking that geek stuff. Last but not least, Niners.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I ain't mad at Niners because, like you said, McCaffrey gave me about 50 points in one of my leagues.
Dude, I know. I was killing it.
Run, Forrest, run. Then we had this conversation yesterday, Alonzo, about one of the greatest running backs ever. I told you he's going to be in that discussion when he retires.
He probably will.
He gets hurt too often for that, but
it's because of the team.
He
got
plays
hurt that in 49ers because the Panthers was crap.
That's true. They didn't have the best left tackle in the game, so
That is correct.
Shout
Anyway,
out Trent Williams.
Chris offered me a trade to take McCaffrey, and I didn't take the trade. And he wanted Chubb, right? Which I didn't really have an issue with, but he wanted Stephon Diggs. And I'm like, I can't get rid of Stephon Diggs.
Both of them. You could have got rid of.
I could have got rid of
Both
Chubb
of them.
and Stephon Diggs for McCaffrey. And to be honest with you,
They're
Chubb
okay.
ended up getting fucking hurt. You know?
Yeah, but
and
Stephon-
Diggs.
No,
and
but
Diggs. So
Diggs
you
got
got
3
rid of both of
touchdowns
them.
tonight, though. Diggs got 3 touchdowns tonight, though.
Yeah, Diggs did good
I think
tonight.
one other Diggs for
Yeah,
Dallas.
that's his brother.
Yeah, no, Diggs did good tonight.
Trayvon.
But what up, Warren? Shout out to channel. Let the people know where they can find you, sir.
Oh, no channel. Just on Twitter. You can find me there. Speaking facts, not feelings, though these wonderful 4 other black men don't believe me, but it's okay. just tune into my post.
The good thing you didn't say these 4 other ends don't believe me. You know what I mean? We're like, yeah, man.
Now we know where you are too. We come to get you, bro.
Facts. Brian,
I click following Warren, but I don't listen to Warren stuff because I am not going to be mad at work.
For real. He'll have you pissed off. Trust me. Him and Cole are 2 motherfuckers that can really irk your skin on Twitter, bro. Trust me on that.
I don't know. Nerdman raised my blood pressure. I don't know.
Yeah, Nerdman's up there, but Nerdman dropped off of Twitter, so he don't really do anything on there anymore.
Oh no, it's K-Dots. Oh my lord.
Oh yeah, K-Dot's is worse.
K-Dot's just come on. He's just doing it just to push a button. That's all it is.
Facts. Brian, where can they find you, sir?
Hey, I'm Brian the Grizzly on 1/3 of Spoiler Kings. We're on live 9 Central on Mondays and Thursdays. Always doing movie, comic book reviews, doing TV shows. We're about to get started on. We did the Continental, which is dope. But we're gonna get started on Gen V too. So stay tuned.
I saw that first episode. That was pretty good.
Start Continental and Gen V. Oh, I also didn't care for Continental too much.
The first episode is a little bit. It's going to get better. I think it's a long episode. There was a lot of introduction, so I'm hoping that they change it up a little bit.
And I told this to Danny before we get into all that stuff, but the reason why I have a kind of an issue with Continental is because he's doing the stuff that John Wick is doing, right?
And
it's not him. It's not supposed to be how it is. He's supposed to be the thinker. He's supposed to be the planner. Yeah. Why are you doing John Wick stuff? That doesn't make any sense.
No, we're talking about the one that stole that thing out the safe. Man, in that stairwell, man, he was nice, boy.
And then he got killed before the end of the episode. Spoiler alert.
I know. Thanks. Damn sure spoiled the hell out of it. Oh my lord!
I didn't finish the first episode. Thank you. I appreciate it. But my thing is just like, you know, when you watch John Wick movies, they call him the Baba Yaga. You know what I mean? And like what he does, no one else can do. But now I'm watching this guy, and he's killing a bunch of people, same way John Wick did. Kind of takes away from me, but I'm still gonna watch it. I'm gonna finish it. But Gen Z is fire.
Gen Z is crazy already. I was like, the first scene, I was like, what the am I watching, guys? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, where did I get that from, man? This blood that she can manipulate. Man, oh my God, this is.
You see, Danny, you have to watch Diabolical, which is the cartoon that came on. I think I sent it to you a while back. It's like a year ago, right? And with the Diabolical, they show the kids that had happened to get the Compound V. Yeah, the Compound V, and how they kind of messed up. Like all their powers are messed up. Like one of the girls in the thing was talking to her poop. Like her poop came alive, and she was talking to her poop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, the other girl, she got to throw up or to shrink, right?
Yeah. And then eat to get bigger. But wait till you guys see the fucking 3rd episode. Oh my God, that shit was lit. I was like, man. I couldn't believe. I'm like, you see, these are the series that I want them all, so I can just binge watch the whole thing. I don't want to sit here and wait now because I'm like, man, fuck. But yeah, it's good. Oh, that Gen Z stuff was 100%.
That's on Prime, right?
Yes.
That was on Prime.
Prime got like, because I don't know.
A lot of good.
I don't know if Fonzo will like it, but The Wheel of Time, I love that show.
I haven't watched it yet.
I watched that. Upload through season 3 is about to come out. I mean, I watch a lot of stuff on Amazon. I don't know how
Prime
I
is
was
good.
time.
Yeah, Prime is they almost get competitive like Netflix.
I
Yeah,
agree. For me, it's Netflix and then Prime. Like Disney Plus, not even in the picture. But
No,
Prime is.
I think
I
Prime
would
had
even
one
say
too.
better than
It was
Netflix.
one
To
with
be
the
honest,
fairies. I can't think of the name of it.
the fairies.
Um,
I think I know what you're talking about too.
Carnival Row.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
Yeah,
that?
Carnival was dope. I
Yeah.
love
No,
Yeah,
Carnival.
yeah. You
see, I
like that
gotta watch
also?
that stuff.
There's
Yeah,
another
I
series on
gotta.
there called Shelter that's really good.
I seen it there. I haven't watched it yet.
It's
Like
really
that's
good.
what I like about Prime. There's so much stuff on there, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is good. You know what I mean? Like Netflix is just there. Like if you want to go search for
You're gonna
something, you
find
go
something,
watch
whatever.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But if you want to watch some good stuff, you go to Prime. Man. That
Prime
shit's
has a lot of good stuff, and as you search it, you find more and more and more stuff, and
Mhm.
it's just I'm
yeah.
enjoying
I
just
agree.
being able to do it. I give it a Prime day when I just go check out stuff that I haven't seen. What's the new stuff out, and I just kind of watch the first 30 minutes or something
Can
and
ain't
see if I can
Lupin
stuff.
on Prime too?
Which one?
Lupin.
Lupin.
Oh, Luther.
Yeah,
No. Lupin.
Lupin.
Oh, Lupin.
Lupin.
Oh,
He's like the
I don't know
British
Lupin.
guy. He's like really like super smart. And his dad
I
got
think I know it's on Netflix. I don't think it's on the Prime.
it's the black guy that played in one of the Jurassic Parks that helped train those rap.
Okay,
oh
yeah,
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
the black French guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got a show called Lupin, and he's like a super genius,
Hey,
and
listen.
he's trying
It's
to.
on
me
Netflix.
Let me tell you something. If you watch his movie, The Untouchables,
Mm-hmm.
the French version, that movie is fucking amazing. I know what's his name? Kevin Hart did his version of it, which was good. I enjoyed the Kevin Hart one. But the original, the French one, yeah, that shit is a really good movie.
Man, we steal all our shows from overseas, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
original ideas come from overseas. That's just what it is.
We steal everything
absolutely.
over there.
Legend of Von McConaughey on
Now, one
Prime.
thing we don't need to
Vox Machina.
steal,
Yeah.
we
Vox
don't need
Machina.
to steal Doctor Who. Y'all can keep that. We do not want it. You can have it.
Young Sheldon, you should be watching Young Sheldon. You guys are just gonna let that slide. Young Sheldon, no, bro.
Oh my
I like
God.
Big Bang Theory, but Young Sheldon,
Yeah, I'm a Big
good
Bang
with that.
person, but
Bazinga!
yeah, Young Sheldon is so much.
Yeah,
Just
I'm done
whatever.
with that. Yeah. I like The Boys, especially season 3. I can't wait for season 4 of The Boys, man. That shit should be coming out soon.
You guys
That
got the comics?
and
Have you seen the
Invincible.
comics, guys? Have you read the comics?
I read
No,
the
I never
comics.
read the comics.
Dude, it's
I'm ready-
amazing.
I'm ready for the Invincible to come out.
Me too.
Too long.
Oh man, I feel like we've been
Yeah.
waiting forever.
Me too. But with that being said, we are here to talk about episode 7 of Ahsoka. We got one more episode to go, and I want to know what you guys actually really thought about this episode. So for the people watching, you know how we do. We talk about the good, the bad, and we give our predictions and our overall thoughts on the episode. Mr. Knight is here, so I'm going to let him shout out his channel so he can tell the people where to find him. Go ahead, Mr. Knight.
I am Chris Knight, Real Review 3000, and Central, all stuff.
You might want to
Some
check your
androids.
connection, Chris.
Your bad
Your
connection.
little, yeah, your little chippy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay, now.
Okay, well, okay, yeah, no, I was just saying, Chaos Central, Real Review 3000, Honstar YT, a lot of other stuff. I go and try to be where I can when I can now, but hopefully I'll be getting back to something more regular soon. Just been crazy lately. Yeah, but no, looking forward to this. Glad I can make it.
Absolutely. Danny, let's get your overall thoughts of episode 7.
I thought it was a little slow in parts, but when it picked up, I was entertained. I'm always entertained. Even though it may not be as fast paced as I want it to be, it always moves the story. I got a few problems, 1 or 2 problems with it, but overall, I did not dislike it. The main thing I'm concerned about is it going to give us a good conclusion? Because I know it's going to be some type of cliffhanger or something that's not going to be
Finished.
finished
In
to
this
our,
series, yeah.
satisfaction. But I had to talk with someone that kind of gave me a roadmap of how it's going to be. So if they do what this individual says, then I think we'll get a continuation of the stories in different stories. Like Skeleton Key supposed to do something. Yeah, I think it's going to be Mandalorian 4.
Yeah.
Season 4 is going to continue, and then you're going to
'Cause
do
we got-
Ahsoka season 2. So
Yeah.
as long as they keep that going, because I don't want it to end, and then we got to wait 2 or 3 years
For
and don't
the
have anything
conclusion.
to keep us engaged. So as long as
'Cause
they
you
do
got-
that, then I'm cool with it.
You got Skeleton Crew. You got the Acolyte still. You have Mandalorian for season 4. You got the movie coming out. I mean, we got a lot of stuff, a lot of things that are coming out that's going to be good.
Yeah, man, we were on some show. I can't think what it was. They were saying, well, it's going to be 2025, 2026. I don't want Ahsoka to end here in 2023, and I got to wait to 2026 to see it because I'm going to lose interest.
I agree.
So as long as they get something in there to kind of keep the connective tissue connected, so to speak, then I'm going to be okay. If I don't, then I'm going to be like, what's the use of doing this? You're going to give me something that I can't eat it for or digest it for another 2 or 3 years?
That was too much,
that.
Yeah.
Brian, read
DC.
DC Hitman by Garth Ennis, same guy who did The Boys. He'll thank me later. Glad to see real comic book fans rather than these fake MCU fans on the timeline.
This guy right here.
It's funny he
Fucking
says that.
man.
I'm buying it right now as we're talking.
Let me see if I wish I had my wrench on here because I was sure.
Yeah.
Time
Time out for 30 seconds for real. Mr. Knight, your overall thoughts of this episode, sir?
Done.
I don't disagree with Danny. It's a little slow in places, but I liked the whole scope of what was going on. And again, I like the way that they portray Thrawn. He's like, okay, well, we're going to pull back now because this whole thing was just a ruse to keep them occupied while we were trying to do whatever these sarcophaguses that they're bringing into the holding bay. And I'm sure that'll play in some more. I know I have heard, and maybe Danny was going to go this route. I know I heard this is supposed to explain a lot of where Sidious came back from and some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I kind of see where this is going to go and how this is going to go, but yeah, no. Overall, though, I think by the end of the episode, I was like, yes, this worked really well.
I agree. JG?
It wasn't a bad episode, but it wasn't a great episode. It was one of those. I'm in the understanding that it's setting up for future things that's coming out, so I don't put too much salt in all this stuff now. But overall, I know I said on your stream that it was a waste, but I was kind of joking. But the things it did well, I enjoyed. The things they did bad, like the pacing and everything, I was not a fan of. But I guess, like I said, overall, I liked it.
All right. Warren, resident hater.
Well, first off, for my man Nerd Man, I just gotta be like, release the Snyderverse. Okay, now that's out of the way.
You know what the problem is though now that he called you Urkel, I can't not hear it now. I hear it. I hear it. I hear it.
He made Jaleel White made a lot of money, and he's a good. Hey, I'll take it. But
did I do that?
This episode was not. It was more of a. This was the true filler to me, and then what I mean is it filled in the gaps of what else. Of other episodes. That's what I mean by filler. I don't mean that it was a filler episode. It filled in other gaps, and like JG said, sets up for the ultimate, like what everybody's doing kind of thing. So I had to put context on the filler. Filled in, gave us the backstory for more of the past episodes. Is what I'm saying. Overall, the pacing was okay. I have my nitpicks, of course. But overall, I think it's a really good episode. I'll go into my pros more, but I think it was okay. This was the filler for me. This was the filler episode out of the so far the entire, because I believe episode 8 will leave us on a cliffhanger and will be a good episode. So this was the filler episode.
All right, Brian.
If this was not the penultimate episode, I would give it a even higher grade. Because it is the episode before the end. I I have some problems. I think it has some really great parts, like the beginning with the trial. That was really cool. A lot of stuff with Ahsoka, her accepting Anakin, very cool. Her coming out versus Balin, that was really cool. Like, that's some really cool parts of this thing. I mean, this excellent. And then there are parts where I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
This is stupid. Why are you doing stuff from sequel stuff? Like, just
Yeah.
stuff that was stupid too. And then when you add it all together, it's a good episode, but not a penultimate episode. You're supposed to be building to a climax, and a lot of this was just very, just bland. So I mean, it was good, but when 4, 5, 6 are bangers, 7 just kind of looks like the ugly stepsister.
And I will definitely agree with you 100%. I thought there was some really good moments in this, but then there were some moments where I was like, why did they do that? You know what I mean? Why are we doing this? Why don't we have this? But I did enjoy the episode, and that's what I like about the series is even though we can criticize and say it's there's issues to it, there's never been an episode yet where we've been like, oh, that was garbage. You know what I mean? That was a stupid episode. So as long as they land it, they kill it, then this will definitely be ranked for me, anyways, as the #1 Star Wars show on Disney Plus, right? Hands down. Go ahead.
Can I just answer LB? Like I said, LB, I thought the episode was okay. Like I said, when I say filler, I mean it's filling in other episodes that we saw and giving us context behind those episodes. I don't mean that this was just a regular boring filler. That's why I made sure to preface that. So I just want to make sure.
I call that an answers episode.
It was a fill in the gap stuff. But the problem with filling in the gaps is you left too many strings all over the place. So like we have a final episode where there's going to be things that they're not going to be able to touch because it's so big, so many things they have to get to. There's going to be things we just can't get to. It's just it is what it is.
Is that not the problem though with Disney Plus, the series? Is it's like we always get to the final one. It's like, well, Jesus, how many things are we going to have to take care of in this episode?
If this is not a 90-minute episode, there's no way to fix all of it.
Well, that's not going to be what they're due.
Me and Danny said that after the show when we did the watch party. We're like, man, the last episode needs to be at least an hour and 30 minutes if they're going to like clear up everything. And I don't think they plan to. So we're probably going to get hopefully an hour at least. You know what I mean? We got to get the 45 to 50-minute episode or else it's just going to leave way too much hanging, 100%. But I did enjoy this episode. We'll get into our positives. I'll go around the other way. Brian, give us your positives. What did you like about this episode?
I mean, I got to start right with the council. That was very good, very cool. I'm glad, that we saw someone stand their ground. Mothma is not doing much of nothing, but because she's just trying to hold her position. But I was very happy with what we were getting with that. I thought the nice thing that we saw with the C3PO was really cool. I mean, Hera, I felt was at least strong enough to talk back, saying things that we've been wanting people to say to the rest of the council. She said it. I thought that was really cool. And then we again C3PO getting the Leia, dropped in there. I thought that was pretty cool. All that was great. And then once again, I said Ahsoka accepting Anakin for who he is. That was so very cool. I really enjoyed that. It seems like she's fun again, lighter. Instead of being that's the ultra serious character now, she's back to being that fun, easygoing, cool character. Like she's accepted who she is. She accepted who Anakin was, and she loves him. And she accepted that she's loves him, and says he's a good master. That was really important. And seeing that was, I mean, just to everything they've done for this storyline, that was important.
Can I add into something about that right there? I love it because that what you just said right there is exactly kind of how Obi-Wan talked about Anakin. He never wanted to say that Vader was Anakin because he knew Anakin
almost like they're
as
two
someone
different.
Exactly. And now she sees that too, and
she's
it's
able
important
to accept it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
from
accepting her
point
training.
of view.
she's
From a
accepting her
certain
training.
point
She's
of view.
become that master now. Before, I feel like they were calling her a master Jedi, and that was BS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with her
She's a
accepting her
master.
training, she now is a master. She now can accept what that is. She understands her training. She understands what's going on, and she has that. Seeing that he had 23 messages for her, 23,
Mm-hmm.
Chris. That's a lot, and that she
Mm-hmm.
didn't share with anyone. And it seemed like she was ashamed of herself. She was ashamed of her training. She was ashamed of her master, and now she's finally accepted it.
Bless you.
That's huge.
Facts. And
Yeah.
what I like too is because if you watch the Clone Wars, he really was a good master to her. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He cared about her. He wanted to see her succeed, and he trained her pretty much better than any other Jedi was trained. Because you see the episode where they're doing the training, and he's like, "No, no, I'm going to take you here." And then he takes her, and there's a bunch of stormtroopers around or whatever, and she's fighting and training. So he always wanted her to succeed. And for her to sit there and say, yeah, you know what? He was a good master. They've showed that in the Clone War cartoons. They've shown that. So
Yep.
it was a
And-
real
and-
good callback.
Seeing that though, then when you see her go against Balin again and her accepting who she is and them fighting, but both of them knowing that I have something else going on, this is not as
Mhm.
important. I thought that was really cool too. But seeing their fight, they was still really good too. But Balin's still a badass. And
Mhm.
seeing how strong he is with the Force and seeing when he's good with his lightsabers was amazing too. So I mean, like when you start going through a lot of these parts, they're great. They're really, really good. I'm not really into a lot of this Sabine stuff, so I'm going to leave the Ezra Sabine stuff to my dislikes, and some of the Thrawn stuff I don't like it at all. But these things I really I did enjoy, and I think even the Shin, the fact that Balin told her, "Hey, I know I'm your master, but I'm going somewhere else. You're going to have to go over there. Our paths are no longer intersecting, so I'm going to let you go on your way." That was really cool too. I mean, I think this is all going to be so important going forward. So this episode is an important episode. I just don't thought it's not should be 7. It should be like 6. Give me 2 more episodes afterwards. So
I
that's
agree.
those are my
100%.
goods.
LB said he was a good master and he dropped her like a bad habit. He actually never dropped her, to
Yeah,
be
she
honest
left him.
with you.
No,
She left
she
the order,
dropped
Left
right?
him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she left.
and she
You
didn't
know, he
necessarily leave him.
She left the
left
order.
the order.
Yeah.
But she always loved him, and she accepted him. And
Mhm.
she, and without honestly, I believe if she didn't leave, he never becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why it's important.
I don't know about that one.
The whole point of Ahsoka being written into the Clone Wars was exactly for that, though, because that is what makes him go to become Darth Vader. Is that everything he loves, everything he holds dear, leaves him or is taken from him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So he had nothing to hold on to, nothing that grounded him back in.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
she could have grounded him in something he loved, that he was going to make sure I'm good because of her. I need to be good for her. And because he lost that, never got it. You know, he never would have
Absolutely.
became Darth Vader.
And that's a good thing, you know what I mean? Because that's something like, because we know there was the Padme stuff and it what really crossed him over, but because again Qui-Gon was dead, right? Obi-Wan was more like a brother. It's like Ahsoka would have been that rock for him. You know what I mean? Like this is the Padawan I gotta look out for. But she ended up leaving, so now he felt like he was more on his own than everything,
Yeah.
especially with the fact that he didn't trust the Jedi. You know,
And if you
And
think
that's why how
about
the
it,
Emperor was able to slip on in.
facts.
and if you think about it, it's like how he left, how he left his mother because he couldn't. Yeah. So it's a lot of correlations there as well.
Absolutely.
And Filoni's
Boy,
doing a good
yeah.
ass job with this
Oh, I
stuff.
agree.
Man. That it's so
100%.
good.
100%. Like this for me is like give him the reins. You know what I mean? So here's the thing. He knows the Star Wars story, right? Favreau knows how to make movies. They would be a perfect combination. Let him do the stories, Favreau make the movies, and boom, you are going to get some really good Star Wars. Guaranteed.
So agreed.
You got to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy though, because she's just
Bye bye, KK. Come on.
Warren, what are your positives for this episode?
Let's go with the positive. Well, we saw the tactical genius of Thrawn
Fact,
by
Mhm.
analyzing
fact.
Ahsoka. We get to see the again. I'm really sad that Ray Stevenson is dead. This man
Me
is
too.
this is a new character that I can say that everyone genuinely likes.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
that's rare for a Star Wars, new Star Wars, to have a new character come in and everyone likes him. So this last episode, because I think he was finished. Um,
Oh
what the
snap!
heck?
Warren sounds pissed. Did Brian
Oh
kill his
my
point?
God, Jesus Christ!
I'll get your price microphone.
Mike, shut the hell up and stay in wherever you are in Connecticut. Anyway, we got to see more of the Night Sisters too, and the council. Good point out, Brian. I do have some negatives. And the duel was good, which I have some negatives there, but I did like that second duel. And then the Ezra showing how he's developed and how he kind of mentioned how he lived.
Hmm.
Um, Overall, the episode, those were really all my pros. I have more negatives, but those were the standout pros that beat the negatives. The negatives are more, again, nitpicks here and there, but they're justifiable once I get to them.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, LB, he died before the Soka series came out.
Oh,
Can't remember the exact
w-
date, but yeah, he did pass
one
away.
last thing to mention. If you notice, like the picture with Ahsoka here, her clothes were dark, and then
Mhm.
Yeah.
and her
Hmm.
clothes changed
She's Ahsoka the
Hmm.
White now.
white.
Yeah.
Just like, remember when Anakin started, he was in the white when he was a kid, and then he ended up being dark. So I like
Hmm.
how Filoni is
Mm.
doing that as well. That we see that there's a growth there, too. And Shin is finally, I think Shin needed to go because we're gonna see more of her. She definitely wants power. She definitely is I would say, a female version of Anakin. Not as good, of course, but she's ambitious. She wants to show her true strength. So
That's I
I
want to
think
ask
this
you
is
a
good.
question later after we get to the negatives, but I want to ask you a question on that specific thing
So
Okay.
about
ask
the
now.
future.
Go ahead. Ask it now, because I think I know where you're going. Go
What
ahead.
so where do you think Shin is going to do? Do you think Shin is going to be brought back into the Jedi? Is she going to end up being the Padawan we're looking for? Especially because Ahsoka is the perfect person to be a master for someone who's that headstrong and she
Yeah.
has power.
I
Because
think
Yeah.
Sabine is
so.
going to be a Mandalorian. I'm telling you, she's going to
I
be.
think
Is
I
she going
think
to put that
Sabine's
helmet
going
on?
back to Mandalore.
Yep.
Hmm.
And I think that Ahsoka will train Shin, or um,
See, I
there's
think
gonna be,
Ezra goes Jason and
yeah,
Shin goes with Ahsoka. And I think she
yeah.
can handle her. That's
Hmm.
That's my thing. But I think what's gonna be even more important is what happens with Balin's skull.
Right.
Mm.
But
that's gonna
right. I,
that's
I
gonna be
I would
awesome.
like to, I really want to know what happens there. But I'm with you there, Brian, because I think she's gonna like find out that Thrawn was ready to leave their asses on the planet,
Mhm.
right? And she's
Yep.
gonna feel like, oh, I can't trust this guy. When Ahsoka, when they had that fight, she was like, I can help you. You know what I mean? And then she ran off. So I'm thinking maybe she's gonna realize, hey, maybe they're not as bad as this Thrawn guy is. Maybe Thrawn kills Balin in some sort of way or something, but something's gonna happen to make her go with Ahsoka. I 100% agree with that, and I like her character too, so I don't want to see her die. You know what I mean? Ray Stevens, I don't want to see him die either,
Oh
but
my
because the
God.
actor passed away, if
Pop-ups are
they do,
ridiculous.
I ain't have no problem with you. Still getting them, Danny.
Oh my God.
But
Yeah.
let's also remember the term Boken Jedi's now in the universe now. So
It is.
Ashoka will be
Hmm.
do things differently from what the Jedi Temple did. So
Absolutely, 100%.
Shin would not be accepted in the Jedi Temple, but Ahsoka's not. She's different, so
Just
she
like
would
they said
accept her.
before,
Hmm.
that everyone, I mean, her line has been different than any other Jedi that they've
Yeah,
ever accepted.
exactly.
So she's the
Hmm.
perfect master for that person who's actually powerful, that just needs to be focused and shown the way. Man,
I
that's
agree,
awesome.
100%. let me deal with this. Anzo, let's be honest. A lot of people hate Catherine Kennedy because she's a woman in charge, but not you, but a lot of people. I disagree with that.
I think she
I
just
think,
sucks. She's done
Firmly
yeah,
sucky
disagree with that.
stuff.
she
Yeah.
could be
Yeah,
in charge,
I don't think got
but if
nothing to
she,
do with her
yeah,
being a
go ahead, Danny.
female.
Me
I said I don't
neither.
think got nothing to do with her being a female. She just not not doing it.
Yep.
She
Right.
sucks.
But because of this, I'll read this one too. He said, "Got to get rid of Kathleen, even though she made billions and made Star Wars the best Star Wars
You are
movie.
delusional.
100% he's crazy.
This is why I said he
Absolutely.
raised my blood pressure. This is why I said
100% he's absolutely out of his mind, right? But
This is the
yes,
first.
her movie,
Is this the first
yeah,
male character Filoni has made?
Ye-
female character, you mean?
No,
Or male?
male. Bowen.
Male?
I mean, Galen.
Balin?
Oh,
Malin.
well, I mean, he had a lot to do with the Clone Wars cartoon, so the
Yeah, but
Inquisitors.
Those characters was already established. I mean, a male character, a new male character that people actually like. Because usually he leans towards the females.
Yeah, but
'Cause
those
he-
Inquisitors were made for the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the
Created
Clone
them.
Wars
Well, name
people
them.
are
I
all
can't-
done by Filoni. So like,
Oh, I don't know them, Danny. Yeah, I
I'm
would have known
saying,
them.
nobody know him, but now Balin seems to be a household name. Every time
What
he come,
Yeah.
Wouldn't Ezra still kind of be a Filoni guy, like
Yeah.
Filoni character? Because there was no Ezra before he introduced Ezra. Yeah.
Yeah, Ezra and Kanan.
Ezra,
Kanan would be exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so I know her movies made a lot of money, but at the same time, they weren't good. You know what I mean? And I think
oh my lord,
just to go back to your saying that it's not because she's a female. If she had, okay, so a lot of people have an issue with that she didn't do George Lucas's treatments, right? Now, if she had not done the treatments but took little things from them, maybe at least changed them a bit, but they were still George Lucas's stuff, and they sucked, nobody would say a word about Kathleen Kennedy because she did what George Lucas wanted her to do, right? It's the fact that they went in a completely different way and then it wasn't good. That's one of the reasons why I think
and then she
people
keeps saying
hate on
silly
her so much.
stuff like the Force
Yeah.
is female, and we don't have any source material.
Yeah, we had She Wars.
Is one thing to let people think you're a fool. Is another thing to open your mouth and let people realize that you are a fool, and that's what she did.
Absolutely, 100%. JG,
I tell
you're
you,
positive.
I wish my cat would try that with me.
Hey, first off, Mike, listen, if they introduce the Great Jedi, I'm cool with it, right?
I'm cool with it
I
too.
just know that there are none in canon right now, and people like to say there are. That's the
Yeah.
problem that I have.
If they
But
come the next thing and said there's a new Jedi Order and they're gray, I wouldn't say one word.
yeah, not an issue.
Would not care.
don't be surprised if these Boken Jedi become that Grey Order.
Oh God! Piggybacking off what Nerdman said, Kathleen did rescue the franchise from the sequels, and I
You
think
know-
you mean prequels. Yeah, he meant the prequels. Mike,
You know, I didn't think they could transport water from England over here. But apparently he has
Yeah,
drinking
right, what
some
you
of that
said.
water that's over there.
They kept
and
on
he
making
had
less and
lost
less
his
money.
mind.
Everyone they
Right.
kept on making less and less money and made less and less sense, and they couldn't stick with the damn storyline. So, and then you do care more about marketing and stuff than the story itself, which actually carries the franchise.
So
You
just
have
sound correct. Nerdman, I'm sorry to cut you off. Nerdman and Mike are saying that the sequels are better, than the prequels. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes, Nerdman has said it many times, and Mike has said it many
Mike
times.
is
as well.
delusional, and so is Nerdman.
Wow.
Oh, facts. They smoking that crack. That's
I don't
good
even, the prequels are good to me, but the fact that you even compare them to the sequels shouldn't be compared to anything.
I
Because
agree.
it-
100%.
I mean, come on.
They could be compared to Meteor Man and Light Man.
Hey, watch your
I'd
mouth,
rather
Danny.
see Meteor
Hold
Man and
on.
Blank Man.
No. We will not have no Meteor Man and Blank Man talk on this motherfucker. All right? Calm the fuck down and talk Ahsoka. I don't know where are we getting that shit from. And you see, listen what I'm saying. He hates Mike Tomlin, he hates Blank Man, and he hates fucking Meteor
You know
Man.
why I hate Mike Tomlin? Because
Stop fucking hating.
He's the greatest coach
his
ever.
butt caused me a loss today. I don't care. He made me sick.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not him. It's
Yeah.
CJ
It
Stroud.
is
though. He's
him. He's the
great.
coach.
The team has to go out there and play.
Yeah, that should piss me off today too.
I'm
JG,
like,
go ahead with
what?
your positives.
All right. To piggyback off what Brian said earlier, the beginning, we see Hera essentially about to be court-martialed, and C-3PO come in. I wish they had done a hologram along with C-3PO of Leia. That would have
Of
been
Leia, yeah.
extra dope. But
hmm
in her own words, hey, if y'all got a problem with me saying Hera's good to go, come at me.
It was
Basically,
so
what
funny.
she said.
She said that, hey, I'm the leader of defense. You got problems? Come make an appointment. Come talk to me. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I thought, but I still think if they had a hologram along with C-3PO of Leia, that would have been extra dope. This would have brought the episode up to the A+ level for me if they did that. But it is
Oh
what
my
it is.
god, the silliness is going on rampant in the chat.
Ahsoka, with the Anakin Skywalker thing, I thought was very beautiful. I thought that she's finally really accepting Anakin and Vader are two different people, and not to lose focus of who Anakin was. And those 20 holograms, you could almost tell that she hadn't listened to him in so long. Now she's opening back up. Okay, let me finish this stuff up. Now, really hoping she gives those to Luke later on to give him that sense of closure, because I don't think he knows who Anakin was either as a person. So I think that would be a great power move right there. A great move right there. Thrawn. I know he's not the physically menacing guy that we would like to have, but that move at the end, where we see that, hey, yeah, this all planned out from the beginning, right? I thought pretty much shown that he is a very great tactician, and he's always planning something, which is a big part of who Thrawn is. I do think that he feared Ahsoka because he used the term reckless and dangerous.
He was like,
said,
"Who's
hey,
a master? Anakin?"
Yeah.
Oh no. He used the term. Anakin was reckless and dangerous. So if he trained her, we got to get rid of this. You got to get rid of her.
Yep.
Right.
Let's go.
Let's go. The thing
What-
with Ezra and Sabine.
Be- Before you go, once just
Yeah.
hold that thought. What I liked about that is though is he's thinking that she's gonna be reckless like Anakin, but because she had that epiphany, I guess you could call it, she's gonna act totally different. It's gonna throw him off. Watch and see. Go ahead, JJ.
I believe it. Ezra and Sabine. Sabine is, I guess, she'll be in my negatives, but I think the conversation with Ezra.
I thought you said something else. I said what?
Ezra and Sabine, that conversation they had. I think, like Warren said earlier, like these are fillers for the sequels, maybe because when Ezra asks, "Hey, what about the Emperor?" Oh, he's basically gone. So they say. Right, so that may be a callback to okay, this is open to how he gets back to. I think that's BS, but it's what it is. Other than that, Balin, I hate to say that they're dropping the ball with him because I really love his character. I wish they would show more about him. I really wish they would do a whole season or a whole show based on him.
Y'all is man crushing hard on Balin.
No, because he's a different character from what we've seen. He's not really light. He's not dark.
Yeah, but that's why I think the whole point of him was to die. Like he's going to do something that's going to cause him to die. So you're going to be okay with Balin.
I don't think he's dying though.
Neither do I. I think he's gonna become something different. You know
I think he's going to open up
starts-
something and he's going to die. End up.
I gotta save my predictions for later because
Because I think what he's looking for is
I gotta
calling
look,
out
see whether or not-
to free whatever the entity that's calling him. Balin's going to free
This
it.
is John Majors playing this place.
Could have been. Go ahead.
Whatever Balin's looking for, he's going to free it. It could be Aboleth. That's one thing a lot of people are thinking of. Could be the sun, the wheels.
I thought the sun was dead. So, but to
Could be.
release
I don't
those entities to get to that
Whoa,
realm,
whoa. Let me
someone
get-
has to die.
Let me
Yeah,
give
Someone has
y'all.
to
A,
die.
let
Balin
me
could be
give
that
it.
sacrifice that dies.
Exactly
Let
my
me-
point. So to release, you have to die. And
Let
that's
me
my
warn
point.
y'all.
Die.
You JG and you Brian, y'all going down this doggone rabbit hole like it was on WandaVision.
WandaVision, yeah.
You better stop because you're gonna be mad and pissed off because
House of M.
you're gonna see
Hey,
all
hey,
these
hey.
things and be doing
no.
all this and breaking down footage, all this kind of
Reed
stuff,
Richards.
and they're gonna let you down just like a buddy of ours, man. I mean,
Mephisto.
way down the rabbit hole.
Mephisto.
And none of that stuff came to pass.
I'm less
That's
worried
true.
about this because everything if something I didn't see coming, they've done it well. It's not about me knowing what's going on. It's just me knowing how the story goes and trying to fit in what could be the characters. But as long as he does it well and it adds on to the movie and all the other stuff they're doing, hey, whatever you do,
I'm just trying
you
to
own
save
it.
your sanity.
Yeah, you own it. So I'm not gonna be mad if we don't ever find out exactly what he was gonna release and then never even say the name.
You've been warned. You have been warned, Byron.
As long
The
as they
House
do
of
it
Smaller
good,
Kings, you have been warned.
as long as they do it good, I'll be okay with it, right? And
Yeah.
again, like we all said, we don't think this is going to be the end of it, right? It's going to carry on. So they're probably not going to finish it all now in this last episode. JG, anything else?
That was it, but I do have a theory about Ezra that I will get to later.
Ooh.
All right. Mr. Knight.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Hold on, Mr. Knight. Hold on before you go. Hold on. I will put this on my tombstone. The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie, period.
Somebody will like.
And then
Somebody
someone's gonna
time him
come
out
in.
forever.
And someone's gonna come and put "fool" on top of the tombstone.
Please.
I will graffiti a cock right next to your name on your tombstone.
With some big hairy balls. Like, what are we doing here? Go ahead, Chris.
What are we doing? Likes?
Yeah. Likes.
Okay. So I did like Thrawn in this. I just like all the Thrawn stuff. I'm finding it very interesting the way they're using the Night Sisters. I like that still. Like I said last week, I'm very intrigued. They've brought as many of them into this as they have in live action, but it's cool. I just hope it pays off because they're really hiding what their purpose is right now. So I'm hoping that we get something here soon. Then the fights in general were okay. We'll get to that a little bit later on some stuff. But really, like I said, the biggest thing I really liked in this was the Ahsoka part where she's listening to Anakin. Again, accepting Anakin and leaving Darth Vader behind. It's important on a lot of things. One, that is how Obi-Wan accepted it once. And again, the Obi-Wan series, I think, allows that. We saw why in Star Wars he says what he says, because at the end of the Obi-Wan series, as he's leaving Anakin there, he says, "Goodbye, Darth." He finally accepts that that is not Anakin. She has now done the same thing. This is very important on the Jedi side of things, because not even Anakin sees himself as Anakin anymore until Return of the Jedi. So this is a very important part of what defines being a Jedi. So Obi-Wan made his choice. Ahsoka has made her choice. And like I said, the Thrawn strategy was very Thrawn. And that's important in this. Yes, I don't disagree with you guys about his look and all that. It takes some things, but I kind of still have that theory, like I said, that we're going to find out that maybe he's not everything we think he is. Maybe. And then I will kind of throw in the Sabine part where Ahsoka contacts her through the Force. That's important. And I think that leads back more to what I said earlier when Balin's apprentice, I can't remember her name right now, but
Shin.
Yeah, okay. So when she first faced Sabine and Sabine put her hand up and then her head went back, I still think that was a little actual Force push. But she realized, she's like, "Oh, you don't have it, do you? You really don't have this down, do you?" And I think that's leaning more into, I'm still believing that, because she reached out through the Force and contacted her, and enough so that Ahsoka knew where they were. So that is something. So I like that.
Wasn't that because of the connection that they had, and Ahsoka's so strong in the Force that she was able to do it? But
that's fine.
But Sabine wasn't able to recognize, which is because it's something that, because I saw with Luke Skywalker, we saw when it was done before, he understood it was Obi-Wan. Like she couldn't
Yes.
even understand who it even was. She just had a
Well,
feeling,
no,
and it was more.
she
She's
knew
sports sensitive, but she doesn't have power of the Force. Like
she knew it was Ahsoka, but she
Mm.
just wasn't sure where it was
what it
coming
was
from.
or anything. She
Right.
was
That's
like,
that's fine. She doesn't have the training, so she's still trying. It's like if a voice popped in your head and you hadn't had that happen before, you're probably gonna sit there and go like, "Whoa, wait, what's going on?"
all
And
I know
so,
is Luke Skywalker had one movie of training, and
Yep.
well,
was
okay,
able to know
it
that
was
was
half
yes,
training.
but
It was
also
like
he
quarter
comes from
training.
the lineage. He comes from the lineage. Okay, wait, hold on. If you really want to go down there, let's go outside of Legends and talk about the time he took down a fucking black hole.
That,
Okay, I mean,
but that's not
uh,
the beginning. It wasn't like his
I
first thing.
understand
You
that,
know,
but
she's
he is from a
years into this
lineage.
now. This is like 6 years that she's been going through this stuff,
His
and she feels like, can I move the spoon? You know, like she's still.
well, you know what? Neo, it took his death to figure out how to be the one. Okay, so don't get there. Okay, anyways, so I thought that was cool. And yeah, I mean, there's some cool scenes. The flying, the dogfight stuff. That's cool and all that. I mean, there was some really good stuff like that in there. So those are things that
Absolutely.
I liked.
Empire Strikes Back or Wrath of Khan. Empire Strikes Back all day, every
Oh
day.
man, I love both. I'm a
Me too.
Trekkie. I'm a Trekkie for real, but Empire Strikes Back might be. I mean, I told you it's my favorite Star Wars, so that's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. And I think Wrath of Khan is my favorite Star Trek movie, right?
Yeah,
But
my favorite one.
for me,
Come
it's
on,
still
man.
Empire Strikes Back over that. Donnie's probably on the phone, so I'll get into my positives. I'm right there with you guys, man. I think my biggest like of this episode was showing how of a tactician Thrawn is, right? Because we know that from previous books or whatever that he's a really tactician. And they actually showed that in this, where
Space
he was
versus
like,
Batman, brother.
pretty much, right? Where he's actually like, okay, so what we're gonna do is this, and then he know what's gonna happen, and then it's like, okay, now we're gonna take our troops away and this and that. We're gonna get Ahsoka. I loved all of that. The Anakin stuff, like you guys said, was great as well too. Um, the lightsaber battle, and I do have an issue with that, but we'll get
Yeah.
into the negative, right? But the lightsaber battle was good, and I'm really interested to find out what is going to happen with Balin, 100%. And Ezra, the way he was fighting was good, right? But it kind of showed him being a little bit too powerful. You know what I mean? I'm like,
We've already seen it before. It's nothing
Was
new.
it really powerful? Because it was supposed to be this forced karate thing that they've been talking about for
yeah,
years,
Oh
right?
yeah,
mhm,
And all he really did was force push.
push,
He had
yeah,
no real karate, nothing going on. It was just like, I want to force push you over here and then do this.
yeah,
Like
I
it
agree.
But you
wasn't
know
really
that's
that
been done
much.
already, right?
It's been
Yeah.
done, and it's not even that impressive. It's really not.
No.
No, it was impressive when Darth Vader did it in Obi Wan.
But Darth
Well,
Vader
that, but no,
held the
it happened
entire
before that even.
ship.
No, I'm
Just
saying I've
grabbed
never
it.
seen him fight somebody with a lightsaber, a full lightsaber, and he block it with just his hand in the Force. I've never
Yeah,
seen that done before.
Yeah,
that's because
that
he's pretty awesome. Yeah.
that shit was fire. Basel said I had a lot of dislikes, especially the fight crappy. We'll get into the dislikes in a bit, Basel. Donnie, what are your positives?
Like I said, I thought the story moved on. Like you said, I agree with you with Thrawn. He's definitely. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. He is a space version of Batman. While we still one or two, while we always concentrate on maybe one or two steps, he's on like 4 or 5, just like Batman. And so, even though he doesn't let that other witch, the half witch, whatever her name is, know what's going on, he's always playing. He know what's going on. We got a lot of speculation about what's in those things. It looked like coffins to me, so I'm assuming that's that undead army or whatever. We haven't revealed that, so I hope they do lean to that. Maybe we'll see one how they look, whatever the case may be. But I'm definitely liking it. Very interested still what's Balin's end game, because I do think that he knows something that maybe even Thrawn don't know, and it appears to be the Night Sisters don't even know it. So we will definitely. I'm interested in seeing that. I will give the negatives about the fight between him and Ahsoka, but it seems like they're changing more to a Japanese samurai fighting style now with lightsabers more than I've ever seen in the
But
past.
I know there are
did any
different
of you guys see the
forms.
original Clone
So
War series?
Of course.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was samurai based.
It all was. All of it was supposed
Not
to
as
be.
much as some of these positions they're doing and
Oh
all this.
no! I'm not talking about I'm talking about the Japanese anime style, almost anime style, Clone Wars. Not
Hmm.
the 3D one.
Yeah, the one that came out in
Okay.
theaters. You're talking, right?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's where a lot of this force push fighting stuff and that stuff came from. And I think it's interesting they're doing that. But okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, that's pretty much all I had.
Well, you're gonna start with your negatives, Danny. So you can go ahead with
Um,
your negatives.
I thought the fight between Balin and Ahsoka was a little underwhelming because I wanted to see more lightsaber stuff. I'm still of the mindset it needs to speed up a little bit for my liking. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either compared to ones I see earlier in the season. I'm still not a fan of the crab people.
Man,
Um,
no one.
Yeah, me
so
neither.
I don't even know why they even introduced those. I guess that's marketing for the kids. So I'll accept that
they already
reasoning
got
behind
shirt
that.
merchandise on them.
Do they?
Literally, they already got they already got them out.
I just hope what I'm really concerned about is the time the next episode is going to be. If it's 50 plus minutes, I'll be cool with it. But if it's less than that, I'm gonna feel really like, why did y'all take us down this story and then not giving us enough time to have
To flesh
a
it out.
satisfying ending?
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be. I don't think we're going to be satisfied. Maybe some, but they're going to be 2 or 3 questions. Like, well, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? So I'm just of the mindset. If you're going to tell a story like this, and it's going to be so much time to the next big payoff, then give us enough time to tell a story where we won't be chomping at the bit too long.
Yeah.
I think 2 years is going to be too long if this is supposed to be the kickstart to the movie. I don't want to wait to 2025 to see it. That's just my concern. But next Tuesday we'll tell the tale. I don't know if I'm gonna go along with what y'all saying about Ahsoka training that girl. I don't. I just think she's treacherous. I don't know. I ain't sure about that. It'd be cool, but I think she need to go ahead. Ahsoka need to go ahead and do what she need to do with that one because I don't think she can be trusted. I'm really not a fan because I've already seen it. And maybe if he'd have been a little bit more aggressive, but he seemed to be kind of happy-go-lucky using the force push karate. I'd like to see it more done like how they did it with Vader in Obi-Wan. I thought that was really, really cool. I still can see some of the moves he did. And I'm just not a fan of this Sabine at all. The Sabine on the actual animation was
they're
much
doing a
better than
terrible
this one.
job.
They had watered her down and made
Yeah.
her dumb as a bag of bricks. So I'm not a fan of the direction that they got her going now. But it is what it is. Those
I
are my
agree.
dislikes.
Chris?
So bad. Yeah. Okay. I know there's
Possible.
something else going. Well, no, I know there's something else going on with Balin because after she did her thing where they came, they shot down there in the smoke, and it gave her time to get away. He stops. He looks at her, kind of just accepts what happened, and then looks down and kind of like, okay, and then there's something else on his mind. Now, either that is that he's just given his apprentice away, and he thinks that's done, or something like that. Or again, going to what Brian and I have thought, he is now on to that stuff he was talking about before. And I think, yes, he may not die, but he's going to probably transform or change somehow. But we'll have to see, because they didn't know he was going to die, so maybe they don't. I don't know. But the way it ended, though, it was like, what the heck? I mean, that was her moment to do whatever. And if what he needed to do had to happen, then that should have happened first, and then this fight should have happened in the next episode. I think they mixed up how they should have done that. And maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to see, but I do think that was a very wrong move. The way that his apprentice ran off, that was stupid. I mean, yeah, they could have finished that right there. There were those two fights could have been finished. Because the apprentice is hot-headed enough, and he knows it. Baylan knows it. Yes, exactly.
Maybe she listened to him when he said, "Impatience for victory will guarantee defeat."
And maybe it is, and maybe he realized, or maybe he knows that she's going to be tested. Maybe that's what he was thinking. I don't know. And yes, Dandelion, you're right. Something calling his name, but that should have been addressed before the fight. If you were just gonna, because that fight has to, I mean, and they can fight again, but just doing this fight and having it left at no resolve. Even the first fight they had, she was knocked out, and that was a teaching lesson. There was a point for that, and she did technically lose because he said, "No, I assure you." Anakin said to her, "No, I assure you, you lost."
You lost.
And so this one, there is no winner. There's no nothing. It's like they're pointless. Why'd you even fight? That drove me nuts.
I agree.
And like I said, the same one with just Ezra and all that just neat, cool, whatever, great. It just didn't. It fell kind of flat at the end of it. It's like, what was the point?
I agree.
So yeah, that was my. Those were my bad things in it.
Brian?
All right. So, first of all, I think that the fight between Ahsoka and Baylan was all about Ahsoka realizing that she's fighting, not trying to prove that she's better, but that she's now understood. I've taken this learning and I've taken the next step, and then she's gonna take another next step if they do meet again. But that that these are two masters meeting now. And I think that's all it's showing. But they were on the way to do something different. And he says, I'm trying to waste your time. And she's like, I got to get out of here. So there's no point of trying to fight. I'm just going to show you that I'm on your level now. And if we meet again, then things would be different. I'm glad they didn't do what they did with Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. Because they would say, oh, I now see what you're going to do. I'm going to go back to what you did in the last episode, and I'm going to kill you quickly. I don't want that. I want them to show that these guys are both very good. They're both masters, and they just have different beliefs. So I thought that was okay. But something I did not like, I disagree with you guys about Thrawn. So everything I've ever seen with Thrawn is such a tactician that he knows exactly what's going on. He's never afraid. He knows everything about the people. He knows exactly what buttons to push. And really, all this episode was him wasting time and doesn't want to use too many of his weapons. He doesn't want to use any of that stuff. He wants to, I want to lose as few people as possible to still get and run. But Thrawn is supposed to be so above this and so many steps in front of him that he knows exactly what they're going to do. But I felt like he really didn't care. It was more about, I'm just trying to get out of here because he's been here so long. He didn't care about all that stuff. So he didn't show his
He's trying to save that stuff. And there's we're going to find out what's in those pods. And I think the point is that he was on top of it because all he was trying to do is keep that diversion going so he could finish his real plan.
But Thrawn has never run from a fight. So Thrawn, throughout the whole thing, was always that he has never lost a battle.
He's not running, though.
He is running. He's running to the next. I'm getting out of here.
He is using something as a means to the end that he is more. His real mission was not that. He is, and I can't remember, was it Danny that said that nobody really knows what Thrawn is thinking right now? That's because I think he's purposely doing that.
Yeah,
I think we're giving too much credit to a thing that they haven't fleshed out this Thrawn. They told he's a great tactician, and we did not see great tacticianing. That's not what we saw. Like
If
if
your
he
main mission is to get your ship loaded, and if those pods have something very valuable on it, and that is his primary goal, his primary mission to him, then that's that. That it doesn't matter what he
but
does with
he should
everything
know
else.
more about Balin. He should understand the power that's going on. There's Thrawn. From what I know about Thrawn, he would know everything that everyone's doing, and he's moved things around like a chess on a chessboard. He knows what all the pieces are doing, and he's not doing those things. He's running. He's actually
No,
flying by the
because
seat of
he
his pants
learned
because he's
from
making these
Ezra's.
things.
Yeah, but Brian,
Yeah.
remember he learned from Ezra that
Always win.
you can't
Try to win.
always win, and sometimes it's good to run. He learned. Okay, the
But
whole
he's
point.
running.
The whole point
You
of
see,
this new Thrawn realized you have to prepare for the unexpected, and you
Mhm.
have to learn from your
What's new?
mistakes. Um, well, no, I said the new Thrawn. Thrawn,
Yeah.
the Thrawn. Remember, Thrawn did not expect in the Rebels what Ezra did. That was an unexpected, out of left field thing. He's saying to himself now, I learned from that. I don't want any more of that. I want to make sure I get the job done because of that.
I
I'm,
think
I'm not
here
against
real
that.
quick. I think the problem you're missing is everybody that's out there. All of those ships are dead people that the sisters brought back. All of Balin and his apprentice are out there. The people who don't matter, the pawns in the whole thing that he's willing to lose is what he sent out. Nothing that was really in his plan. He has a separate plan already going, and that's what he was. That's why he sent those out there. And so when he did it, he said, okay, well, we've lost some, but I've done what my primary mission was to waste their time and get back on track myself. And that is a tactical move. Look
And
back.
it is, but it does.
Look
It
in.
seems like there's flaws in this move. There's
Well,
flaws.
there might be.
But
But-
that's not what Thrawn is about. He's not. He doesn't
Yeah,
have
what-
flaws.
Yeah,
he
but
does
that's
not
what you
make
talking
these.
about.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
what
what
I
I
mean,
wonder.
Brian. That he thought he had no flaws, and by
Mhm.
being in Peridea for so long and learning from that Ezra experience, he's like, okay, I do have flaws. The reason you can tell that he's learned is because the fact that his troopers and everybody are using that gold, that is significant because it's
Yeah,
showing that
that's
you're
true.
able to repair and learn, right?
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying is that this is a new Thrawn. This Thrawn wasn't using magic. This Thrawn knew about stuff but now he's going about everything differently. So if it comes off odd, it's because this isn't the same Thrawn that we saw in Rebels. This is 10 years later.
It don't. So we know this, right? But we never. Everyone who's ever seen Thrawn, this is the first time they've ever seen him. We've not. They didn't give him anything that he's a great tactician of war. That's what he was all about. That's what his people are.
You
And I
must
feel
have
like
missed,
that's
I
missing
think
out.
you
Do
missed
you
the point.
know? Do you realize that the United States, in the War of 1812, in order to actually preserve the freedom of the United States, left Washington to burn?
So
And that was because, for fear of loss of a war, they lost the battle. They decided, we're going to lose this battle. We're going to make sure that we don't lose our freedom.
So let me ask you this: what are the flaws? Because we have it been established that in like the first episode we've seen him, his main goal is to get off of that planet, right?
Mhm.
So he doesn't care about anything else. So keeping them occupied so he can finish up what he's doing and then get out of there doesn't seem like a flaw to me. So what do you think is
I
a
think
flaw?
a great tactician would have said, okay, I know I'm going to push her to a point where I know exactly where she's going to be, and I'm going to trap her. And it doesn't matter if what I do, I'm going to blow up the ship. I would have planned for that. So now if I did all this time, spent all this time, and I blew up her ship, guess what she can't do? Mess up anything that I'm doing. But that's the forward thinking that I expect from Thrawn. Thrawn, if he blows up her ship, there's no problems anymore. He can get up and go do what the hell he wanted to go do, right? But he doesn't do that. He was flying by the seat of his pants. He was just doing the next thing, instead of having a grand plan. Thrawn is a guy of a grand plan.
I disagree with that.
Well, can you
we'll
also
have to
say
see.
that him sending Sabine out to Ezra was part of his grand plan.
No,
Yeah,
no,
of
I think that
course.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely because yeah,
So and
but that's
even
before
when
he knew Ahsoka was coming, and
Yeah,
Ahsoka
I was about to say that.
changed
Ahsoka was kind of
everything.
yeah.
She's thinking she's like you put a queen on the board, and that's changed everything. And he hasn't changed his game, and that's why I'm saying he's still doing the same thing he was doing beforehand.
but he did, but he kind of did because he was like when she was hiding in the fog or whatever. He said,
Mhm.
"We're gonna flush her out. We're gonna send her to where they are." So he knew what he was doing. That
He
was his
knew what he was
plan.
doing, but that's just like I'm going to put this pawn here to get you to try to jump instead of saying I'm going to do 5 moves to get to your checkmate so I blow up your ship. I had all he has a billion of those the landmines. He didn't plan. Thrawn could have planned it out. I'm just telling you guys that Thrawn, if he was playing the game he wanted, he could have planned it out still. And I feel like
So
what's going to happen is he's actually going to make a mistake.
He's
And
not
you're
making a
gonna see it.
mistake. He's
He's
going
not
to
making a
win.
mistake.
They're gonna
Oh,
okay. I'll say that.
he's going to continue to do something. He's going to leave. They're not going to be able to, but he's going to make a mistake because Ahsoka will still be alive.
so here's the thing: if we get the Thrawn you want, right? He's killing Ahsoka. He's killing Sabine. He's killing Ezra.
No.
and then
I
we
just
got
want
no
him to
more
blow up the
show.
ship. Why is he doing anything? Everything should be focused. I don't care about Ezra. I don't care about Sabine. I should only be worried about the vehicle that they're going to try to come back to me on. Nothing
see,
else
here's
should
the
matter.
But
Here's the thing, though. Or I'll let you go, Danny. Just give me one
Mhm.
second. Even if he doesn't blow up the ship, he knows if he leaves them there, their ship still can't get them back to the main universe, right?
But their ship
So
shouldn't even be able to get them to outer space. If you're on the damn planet and you can't get out of space, you're done, right?
yeah,
I
pretty much.
don't care what the whales are doing.
But
I don't care what the Norals are doing. I don't care what anything's doing. I'm just saying that's a end game doing the same thing you're doing. But my point is that I feel like Thrawn was smarter than that. Would be even more smarter than that. I know what he's doing. He's wasting time. He's saying I don't care about all this other crap. I could just get up and go. But if that doesn't end the thing, then Thrawn is actually making a mistake. And Thrawn, what seems easy to me and easy enough to me to just blow up the ship and then I don't have to worry about anything. Done.
okay, Danny, you were gonna say something?
I said, I think, Brian, you're giving the tactician too much credit, or you're not giving them the correct credit. And I'm going to explain myself when I say that. A tactician means whatever information that you have, you study it, and then you formulate some kind of plan and contingencies. He didn't know who Ahsoka Master was, so once he learned that, he formulated a contingency. Same thing like Batman. Batman, one of his greatest powers is he's the greatest detective, which means he don't know everything, but he has the ability to find out everything. And just because you're a great tactician, don't mean you automatically know something. As information comes into you, then you're able to put the pieces where you want to. I don't think he's even if he did blow up the ship, we all know that they still can get back because
How?
she can control them whales. They can get
Yeah,
in the
but
mouth of the whales.
she can't get out to outer space.
The
You
whales
understand what I'm saying? Like,
the whales
that's-
come down there because that's where they come to die.
Where how'd she get in space? She flies?
No, I'm saying
You know
when
what
the
I'm saying?
whales
Like, there's
when the whales
literally
I'll say that
nothing
for
else.
my
All the whales
prediction
are on the
later.
outside
when the whale
and
when the
around.
whales come
Hold
back
on.
in orbit, the same way that she has the ability to talk to them, whatever. You don't think she could feel those whales when they come back in orbit that back down there? They could come down there,
I
fly
don't
to
think
where
the whales
at.
are gonna come and land on these
I
giant
ain't saying
Norals.
land, but they
You
can
know,
fly.
they will have to, right? Because she doesn't have a ship.
If she could fly
They will
low
be
enough,
stuck.
she could
So
use the. We've seen people use the force, Byron, and lift
Yeah,
things.
she
Lift
had
people
to
up.
use the force to pick 4 people up.
You done seen
fly
that done
into space.
before. If Darth Vader can stop a ship, he can't. You mean a force user can't lift up 4 people?
I don't see. I don't think
bet Ray
force
can
means
do
you
it.
can fly.
I'm just
They
saying.
did it once in its sequels, what made no sense. But I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. My only point is that it's something so simple, right? That if I can see it, a tactician is I'm taking all the information I have, and I know exactly what I need to know, what happens, what needs to happen, so I don't have to worry about them anymore. And he could do something simple, like I'm already thinking about this. I'm going to force you to this point, and I'm going to blow up your ship, and I'm going to leave, right? And now I'm not just leaving; I'm leaving you here, and don't have to worry about you anymore. And that's something I think like is so small that he could figure it out. I feel like Thrawn could do that, would do that, but he's maybe to me, maybe he's just so afraid of being left there again. His fear is Ahsoka, and his fear is being left there again, and they're clouding his judgment. And I feel like that's this is outsiders people the first time they even hearing about Thrawn, and he doesn't like a master tactician right now. So it is what it is. But
everybody back there they know who Thrawn because the lady asked, "Hell,
I'm
do you
talking about
think?"
no, I'm not talking about in the world. I'm talking about like people watching the show.
Oh,
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like the people that are watching. This is their first
That,
introduction to
the
Thrawn.
especially if they
casual
didn't
fan.
watch Clone Wars,
They
right?
have no idea what's going
Yeah,
on, and he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
look like a master tactician, and that's part of who he is. His definition of who he is, and that's not what we're showing. So
I don't
I
know.
mean,
I understand. I understand you're blowing up the ship part. I do because that puts them. But I still think he was a tactician. I still think he got Ahsoka to where he wanted her to be.
I
Right.
do
So
too.
that now maybe it might not have been the way you wanted him to do it, like blow up the ship, boom, they're done. But I still think he got his point across. He did what he wanted to do. Right. It's not like Ahsoka was doing what she wanted to do. Everything she did was because he brought her to that situation. So
yeah, but I think he
that's
also underestimated how awesome she is right now. So,
he
but
probably did too as
and
well.
that's why I don't think he usually would. But but once again, it could be fear. So everything I could be saying, we could see in the first 15 minutes of episode 8 that I
That
don't know is Ahsoka, and I'm worried about Ahsoka, and I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here, and I'm not worried about them.
I got you, Danny. I know you got to bounce soon, so give your grade and predictions if anything.
I give this a solid B. I don't know. I'm definitely ready to see it. I will be here with bells on Tuesday. I don't know what to go. I don't know I have no idea what they're gonna do, but I'm not gonna let myself fall down that rabbit hole like I did with WandaVision. So I'm just gonna sit back and let it do what it do. I just hope that is more than 50 minutes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
me too. Me too. I hope it's a pretty decent long episode too. This Tuesday, guys. So we're gonna check that out. You have any predict? You said no predictions. All
No,
right.
I don't have a clue.
If you want to shout out your channel, Danny, before you bounce, go right ahead.
Yes, check me out tomorrow if you're not doing anything. Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on The Road to Wisdom, where I give a quote, scripture, and word of the day. And also, I'm throughout on different channels on Chaos Central. We usually do on Mondays. I think we're not going to do it tomorrow. One of the main key members won't be able to do it, so I'll postpone it to maybe Tuesday or maybe
Well,
before the show.
maybe okay. If you want, maybe we could do before Ahsoka or
Yeah.
on Wednesday before. Well, you got the Basco show on that, so either
We'll figure it
Tuesday
out.
or Thursday. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it
Because
out.
I'm going to see Wu Tang, Nas, and De La Soul tomorrow, guys. So,
What?
I don't blame
Nice.
yes,
you.
yes,
I don't
yes,
blame you. I'd be like, adios.
Dang.
yeah,
Hey, but fellas,
yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Y'all take it easy.
Oh, Danny.
Check you
Thanks,
out next Sunday.
Peace.
thanks for coming, Danny. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Warren, let's get your negatives now. Here we go. You
Oh,
guys get
negative.
popcorn
Negative.
ready?
I think you're gonna agree with most of them. First off, why Ezra has been around longer than Shin, but Shin just did one push and this guy's on the ground. That I did. I'm sorry,
I
I
agree.
couldn't. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm
that
telling
was
you,
a
I
way to
got a
get him
good
out the
theory
fight.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
go
All
ahead.
right.
I got you.
Then these stormtroopers, right? These shadow troopers, because that's what they call them
Yeah.
officially. They're the same damn stormtroopers. They got their ass beat by turtle people. Come on now, am I wrong? Like, tell me I'm wrong here, right? They got beat by turtle people and three
Yeah.
Hey,
oh,
the turtle people are throwing pots and pans.
pots and
Oh
pans.
my
I'm thinking,
It
God.
I'm
was
thinking,
Meteor
Yeah.
Man. It's funny.
I'm
It was Meteor Man.
I'm thinking these guys are gonna be like a little bit more scary, more like these. This is the same damn stormtroopers. Like what this the
Hmm.
whole build up. It was such a disappointment.
Hmm.
Then we see the fight. Now the fight was fine. The thing I don't get is that like how it was too short. It could have been a little bit longer, but I understand because there's gonna be a big build up. So that's more of a nitpick. And then the Sabine's like kind of running around the topic of like really trying to tell
Yeah.
Ezra stuff. It's like,
Oh
come
my
on.
god, it's
It's like
pissing
just
me
tell
off.
them, man. Like
Me too.
that was very annoying. It's like, yo,
Yep.
like it's like Iris from Flash. I hated that woman.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh, so
yeah.
that was another one, and then Shin was very indecisive on how she wanted to approach the whole thing with the fighting, and you could see that she was just it's like Balin was like, you can tell that she was a dog and Balin was the master. Like really, like just let the dog off the leash and you saw how she operated. So, I mean, I guess that's more of a critique more than a nitpick.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were like the biggest ones. Like these stormtroopers were a disappointment. The whole the turtle fight scene, those turtle people, snail, turtle, that was a
Yeah.
disappointment. I mean, if it wasn't for Balin, Thrawn, and that fight, this episode's not that great, to be quite honest with you.
None of you guys are
Yeah,
pissed off with Ezra. The fact that he did the same thing Luke did from the sequels and looked at the lightsaber,
you
let me
see,
throw that
you
over my
see,
shoulder,
Dude, I was
and
just
then
about to
picked up
talk
a
about
gun,
that.
and then picked
Yeah,
up a
I
gun.
was
that, that
about to
doesn't make
talk
yeah,
about that.
that was another one that didn't make any sense. Like, bro, you've been there. You
yeah,
tell me you didn't unlock
Brian, I hate
the
you.
weapon
I was
Nobody
knowledge.
just
mentioned
about to
it.
talk about that. You stole my
Yeah, that was
spot.
gonna be my
You
shit. You
stole
know
it.
what I mean? I was gonna like, yes. No
You
one's
But
talking
stole
about
it.
it, so I can bring that
but
up.
yeah,
Oh, my bad.
but that's most of the critiques I had for the episode. I think they're all legitimate because the stormtrooper one really disappointed me because I thought maybe
Yeah,
that they
you're
would
right.
be a little bit more badass than regular goofy stormtroopers back from the first trilogy. So
No,
yeah.
you kind of right too because they were like an afterthought, right? They're supposed to be
Hmm.
these shadow troopers and everything, but you're right. They just felt like regular old stormtroopers. Like they didn't do nothing special. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I agree with you, one
They
hundred
got their
percent.
butts kicked just like everyone else.
Facts, 100%. You know what I mean? JG, go ahead,
Oh
bring
man,
it up,
Brian
bro. Go
stole my
ahead.
spotlight with that one.
Mhm.
Oh,
Sorry.
I don't because they're not going to fix the choreography this season because we only got one more episode. So future projects, they really need to fix the choreography because it's too
Yeah,
slow. It's too
yeah.
besides Balin and Ahsoka. And usually when people do fight choreography, it's the main character have a stunt double in place of them.
Hmm.
Mhm.
They do. It seems like the actual actors are actually trying to do the stunts,
Hmm.
and that could be a reason why it's so kind of slow. I don't know. It's just I can't stand it.
Well, George
Sabine,
Lucas had a way of getting his actors. He liked his actors to do the actual stunts, right? Unless it was like Count Dooku was way too old to do some of the stuff he
yeah,
did, so he's just really swinging the lightsaber. But that Anakin and Obi-Wan fight,
It was so
all
good.
them
like I
not
said, we are
set
so
up.
spoiled
It
from
was,
those
yeah,
prequels, man.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
those
I
fights,
agree.
oh my goodness,
I agree.
they
But
they
go ahead.
changed the game for Star Wars lightsaber fights. But
Yeah.
Sabine annoys me yet again. So
Hmm.
freaking annoying. And like you were
Hmm.
saying, like, hey, like when we're saying, you haven't seen, you fought to get to Ezra. You see him. It's so like, ugh. She just irks me. She really does irk me. Even the conversation, not telling them information, not feeding them stuff, and oh, they said the Emperor's down. That's so they say. I'm like, what? I mean, I
Hmm.
put it like this: Ahsoka showed more emotion in seeing Ezra than Sabine did.
Yeah. That
Facts.
hug
Yeah.
and it was
The
yeah.
hug
Yeah.
and everything. Sabine did.
Hmm.
I couldn't stand it. What else? The Ahsoka using the Force to speak to Sabine. That didn't bother me. It's the fact that Sabine was able to echo it back to her is what bothered me. I don't know if that's
I'm,
what happened, but that's the way
I'm glad
I
you
think she
said
just
because
I
looked.
think she just heard her and she said Ahsoka and Ezra was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But like
But
yeah,
she,
yeah, but the fact that it echoed like you see in the
mm-hmm.
and
I know
thing
what
kind
you're
of
talking
echo, it's like
yeah,
'cause
yeah,
even when they
about.
use the force, it's like a slight echo in the voices
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and the way Sabine was able to echo it back. If you have force so little that it's almost non-existent, you shouldn't be able to echo that stuff back. Just like getting stabbed with a lightsaber in the gut and come back in the same day. The
yeah.
resurrect. I don't care what kind of line she's from. That shouldn't happen. I'm sorry.
I
Uh,
agree with you, but it could be inside of her head. When they say inside the head, you hear the echo. So it's only Ahsoka going inside her head, and she's saying it inside her head that that's the echo instead of her pushing it
Mm.
back out to Ahsoka. It could be something as that, but I agree that was kind of crazy.
Yep.
yeah, it's that annoyed me. I do think this episode was a waste in the sense of you only got one more episode left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You, like Warren said, it was kind of a filler, but not so much filler, but just filling the gaps of what's been missing. With one episode
Hmm.
left, it's probably gonna be like 42 minutes. You're not leaving us with much. I know we said last week that we were afraid that this would end not on a good note, like it wouldn't give us what we needed. This is more so of a setup for upcoming projects.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. Can I go
Yeah.
into my my theories now?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You had to say your name. That's my bad.
I do. So first off, okay. So I'll go with this one because it's the fresh on my mind. Now I get it that but why the fuck didn't Ezra send the Ahsoka calling to me?
Right.
You know
Now I
what I
have a
mean?
theory. I
I
have a
think it was
theory.
a direct connection though. That's what
Yeah, the robot guy
that
said.
he said. It's a
Yeah,
direct connection to our connection is so strong between us two that she could only hear me, not any other force sensitive. So like, it would be like Obi-Wan talking to Luke, but not Darth Vader not hearing it. He could
yeah,
feel with the
That
presence, but he can't hear it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought Ezra should have at least felt it, right? Maybe
Yeah,
not heard it, but at least felt, because they always say disturbance in the force, right? So
yeah.
Ezra should have at least felt some kind of, especially if we're talking about how this planet, the force works kind of differently. You know what I mean? That's what they're saying about some of the stuff I read. I still haven't seen much of that yet, right? So I'm
Yeah.
hoping we'll get to see a little bit more of it in the next episode if that's the case. But it just seems like, the same kind of force doing force push. It doesn't seem like anybody's more powerful than they should have been or whatever. So I'm just kind of hoping that like maybe we get some kind of explanation, or maybe that article that I read was just talking out their bumhole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just like maybe Ezra should have felt that, right? Ezra not taking the lightsaber, I'm like, bro, come on, man. How epic would that have been if he had grabbed it, lit it up, and even if you wanted to give him like a 2 minute fight with Sheev, um,
Yeah.
chin. You know what I mean? Did something like that. Then give it back to, maybe he does a move where he does a force push, throws it to Sabine where she's in a little bit trouble and she starts to using it. But just give us him with a lightsaber one time, right? And
Or
like
seem
you said,
powerful. Him to be real powerful, because that's exactly what Daniel was saying. The point when you saw Darth Vader being the most powerful was he had the
mhm,
lightsaber, but he still had the Force. You use
yeah,
them both interchangeably and can do anything with it. That's what makes you look powerful. Ezra just looked like a dude that was pushing stuff, and even
yeah,
his Force push, like you could make it more like karate, like he's
yeah,
forcing the
hmm
ground and he's doing all these moves, like it's
hmm
like he practiced it forever. It seems like he ain't do nothing but just I got
yeah.
Force push and I haven't done anything
Yeah, I
for
was
5
watching The
years.
Last Airbender.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
but that's the thing, right? You know what I mean? Maybe like even if we wanted to talk to force karate, right? Like when he's throwing punches, he's throwing them so fast or so hard with the force that people are getting pushed around or something like that. Maybe he does a spin kick, kicks a stormtrooper, and like five of them drop down at the same time because he has this kind of connection with the planet that he's on, or maybe his force is a little bit different on that planet. I think we could have got a little bit more of that. Then I would have been like, okay, that's cool, right? But he didn't do nothing special. He said, oh, the force man and didn't do nothing special. Like, wait a
Yeah.
minute. And we already learned that the lightsaber is pretty much an extension of a Jedi and his force powers at the same time, right? So to sit there and say, no, I don't need it, force is my ally, is like, oh, come on, really, bro? You know what I mean? So
it would
that
have
was
been
an
dope.
issue.
It would
Yeah,
have
go
been
ahead.
cool if, like, remember Infinity War when Cap and Bucky were going up against Iron Man and they're
hmm
fighting, they're tossing the shield back and forth each other doing
hmm
hits.
Yep.
If they did that with the lightsaber, that'd have been dope.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. They could have done something. You know what I mean? To give us like, oh shit, okay, that's fire. That fight with Ahsoka and Balin,
Galen.
it was useless. I was like, really? This is how we're ending the fight? I get it. You have something else you want to do with him, that is fine. Then you don't put that part in there. There's no reason for them to have that little fight except to say that Ahsoka's a little bit different. And then to say, well, Balin, she's changed, but she still can't beat Balin. Balin says you can't
Hey,
beat
that
me.
shows
She
how
says I
badass he
know.
really is.
Hmm.
So
What if Ahsoka and Balin fight one more time?
I don't think so.
I would
I
be
don't think it's going
okay
to
with
happen.
that, right?
They
100%.
will.
I think
If
they
they
will
do,
fight one more time.
I think so too, right? Because you can't leave it at that. Where I think maybe he's gonna, like you said, open up to whatever he does, gets a little bit more powerful, and then she has to beat him, which would make it like, okay, now we know how powerful Ahsoka really is, right? But
Exactly.
I still think that just having that little fight was just like you could have done without it. You know what I mean? You could have done without it. Like
So
she could have just. went a different way and got to Ezra and them. He went on his own way. He didn't really need to have us.
Balin and Ahsoka reminds me of how Anakin and Count Dooku would constantly always fight until the ultimate end.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gonna happen because when he goes, "You can't beat me," and she goes, "I don't have to."
He was talking
Yeah.
about right now, right
I
then.
think that something else is going to kill him.
I think he's
it's
gonna
be
get
Sabine.
weakened, and then like you're saying, you let something come into him, and you realize you have to kill him in order to get that entity back out. So and that's what's going to take, and like Shin's going to see it, and he's going to tell Shin go with Ahsoka.
I don't think
Something
so.
to that thing
You see,
I hope that
and
doesn't happen.
you see, here's what I would prefer more, right? If maybe he comes back, maybe they have a fight, like him and Ahsoka are fighting, and Thrawn ends up killing Bailey. That
Oh,
way, it would make more sense for Shin to go with Ahsoka because you killed my master. I don't like you, and blah blah blah, blah, right? Because
yep.
if Ahsoka can't beat him now, and you said he gets weakened, but I think he might get more powerful. So if he
Mm-hmm.
gets more powerful,
How
Thrawn
can
might
she do
see that as
anything?
a big right, and
Yeah,
Thrawn might see that as a big threat. Oh, I got to kill this guy, and then kills him, which turns Shiv onto the same side of Ahsoka.
I
You know what
like
I
that.
mean?
I
Yeah.
like
So
that.
I think that would be more interesting if they did that. But again, like that, and oh my God, them turtles. This turtle, this fucking turtle pulled out a goddamn swing shot. I was
It
like,
did.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're trying to make the joke and shit, but yeah,
Disney
you know,
stuff.
we had enough of that with the Ewoks. You know, I love Return of the Jedi, but the Ewoks did some shit, and it was kind of more believable because they used the environment, that is big log trees and stuff like that, with some of those stuff, right? But man, those those things should have they should have been able to wipe them little creatures out easy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Easy. And then one of them gets jammed up, and Ezra's like, "Oh, we gotta go back. We're not leaving anybody around." And those things that they are in are so fucking slow. You know what I mean? Like they were moving so slow. I was like, "Okay, really now?" But other than those little nitpicks, like I said, I really did enjoy the episode. I just had those issues with it. I don't think there was anything else. So, Warren, JG, what's your prediction? Because I know you've been dying to get that out.
Oh yes, I'm gonna start out with Ezra. I have two predictions with him. First, he makes a statement to Sabine. I think it was last not 6. I think I can remember. What he says, "I finally get to go home." Now
Mm-hmm.
we know anytime somebody says that crap, they
You
don't
know
get to
he
go
ain't going
home.
nowhere.
He ain't
Yeah.
going nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got a feeling, well, that's one. Well, let me start with this one. Wherever Balin is going, let's just say there is a big fight at the end because stop Balin from become more powerful. Maybe Ezra has to take his place on that planet, which will let Sabine go with Ahsoka
Mm.
and Shin, and they go off and do whatever they want to do. They got to do right. Or that's not the real Ezra. That's Night Sister magic. Now I'll say this because you see the fabric, the robes, that color they have on. You see the color of those shadow troopers, the little red fabric. What
Mm-hmm.
color does Ezra have on? Red.
See, I didn't
Oh,
even notice that.
come on, this is going to WandaVision
I
territory, my
know, I
friend.
know. I'm going there. I am going there. I'm going there. I don't think because I mean, why do you turn down a lightsaber? That's a Jedi's weapon. That's like like saying Marines, my rifle's my friend, right? You need your lightsaber. You say, well, I'm going to use the Force, and there was I'm not even going to the core off anymore. But yeah, I don't think that's the real Ezra. I think that's just something that was planted there to keep Sabine and everybody else busy.
I think you're on your own island with that one. I am not
Yeah,
going
Okay,
to get.
man.
well that's why
I
I
am
had
not
two
going to
theories.
get
One of
into
them's going to be
that
right, damn it.
because
One of them's going to be right.
because that's one division stuff. But Dandelion, yeah, we have complaints and criticism, but I think overall we're all
Oh,
enjoying the show.
of this, but not the
You know what I
show.
mean?
Like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I'm grading the episode, I spent all that time complaining. I'm giving it a B plus. Like this,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
this
I'm
Absolutely.
liking
Yeah,
the
yeah,
series.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
liking
We,
the series.
yeah, 100%. We're really enjoying the show, right? I think every show or every movie has some things you can criticize in them because I'm going on low keys later and I am going to criticize the shit out of that Saw 10 movie. So make sure you check that shit out, guys.
Oh yeah, I gotta
All
see
right?
that movie. Thanks for
I gotta see that
reminding
movie
me.
too.
right?
Uh,
So I think we all have little criticisms, but I think, like, I don't think anybody has said they're not enjoying this. That's all the
oh
time.
yeah, I'm loving this show.
Yeah, yeah, we're all loving it. What's your grade, JG?
I have one more theory too.
Oh, go ahead.
Next one, kind of in the same realm, because if Bean runs off, I'm sure she's going to go find Balin, right?
You think
I think
that's
she's
where
gonna
she was
look for
going?
him, but I
I
don't
think
think
she's
think
going
she's
to
gonna
look for
see him.
him. I, that could be true. That could be possible too. But I think Shin's going to be the one to kill Balin. Whatever
Mm.
entity, whatever power he's trying to get, he's probably going to tell her, "Hey, you have to kill me." She's probably going to say, "No, I don't want to. I'm going to force you to by fighting you."
Oh, wow, just like Anakin did in Ahsoka's
Like
dream.
Anakin did. Yep, I
Hmm.
can see that happening. And Sabine kills Balin. Somebody's got to stay there on the planet, keep the entity there. Hey, Ezra, I guess I'll just be the sacrifice. You guys go do your thing.
Wow, they did all that work to get him, and then
Yeah, I hope they
Like you
don't do
said,
that.
I get to go home. Finally get to go home. He's not going home. Somebody, he's got to stay there or die.
You
what
know, I
if
Not
agree.
real.
what if he dies?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are thinking. Yeah, that he's gonna die, 100%.
And
And to
either
be
way, you
honest with
did all
you,
that crap for nothing because he's dead on the planet.
to be
He
to be honest,
sacrifices up to save
yeah,
Sabine because Sabine is
yeah,
stupid.
I wouldn't
yeah.
say that heifer for anything. You sit there, don't even give me a kiss or nothing when you get here after all these years, and I'm gonna sacrifice stuff for you? No.
Thank you for bringing up Sabine because I forgot, and I we discussed it, but I'm gonna break down a little bit more. Right when they had about a 5 minute stretch where they had a conversation and they could have
Yes.
talked about the shit, and she didn't say God, like nothing. Nothing. I'm like, tell the man. Like, what is the big? There was no big secret, right? I don't
Mhm.
understand why she would not tell him. What is the big secret that she can't just say,
Everyone
listen?
knows. Like,
You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? And she's just being so vague and this and that. And I'm like, I don't understand. When you first met him, she said, "Oh yeah, we're not gonna talk about it now." And then now you have this. I don't know how long they were traveling because they must have been traveling for a long time, right? Before the Raiders caught up to them. And
Mhm.
all that time, there was no conversation about what the fuck happened. How the fuck did you get here?
Yep.
Like, that would be the first question I'm like, how the fuck did you get here? You know what I
I don't
mean?
think he's real. I don't think he's a real Ezra.
Like, how the hell did you get here? Not, oh, what took you so long? No, how the fuck did you find me? Because, and I'll bring it up. Ahsoka, not Ahsoka, the robot, and this is why I love the fucking robot because he
man,
always speaks fucking knowledge. When he said we don't know which galaxy these whales have taken us to, there's a whole bunch of fucking different galaxies, and he said the odds are not good. I was like, exactly. That is why Ezra should have never asked that fucking question in the last episode. Because you don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they
hmm
could have been anywhere. So that's what I was saying. I'm like, that's the problem I had with that part. And then this one just confirmed it. Like, yeah, the robot is saying exactly what I said.
Mhm.
Chances of them getting to the right fucking universe are astronomical, but yet they did, which we know they were going to do, and that makes sense. Whatever, Star Wars, they can't go to another universe. Like, hey, we're another, it's not here, we're in the wrong universe. So I get that, right? But at least he said something that I was thinking. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
yeah.
yes. So that's one of the things. What about you, Warren? Do you have any predictions and
Yeah,
grades?
my grade is just a regular B. Um, that's my B. Can't go any higher than that. Predictions. Well, I think what's going to happen is they're going to take a big L and they're going to be stuck on that planet. Um, the Thrawn's going to win because you can't have, we've seen in the other series where like Mando, he's pretty much won in almost every season, and Boba Fett kind of won. So like, this is the first series where the good guys don't really win. I guess they're gonna have a win, but I don't know how that win's gonna come about. We're gonna see finally what Balin's gonna see, looking for, and I think that he is not gonna die, and the lesson that Anakin showed Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds is gonna come back where, you know, I choose to live. Like what's Balin's constant theme is you're like your master, you're like your master. And I think she's gonna beat him, and he's gonna be like, "Okay, kill me now." He's like, "Nope, I'm not him. I'm Ahsoka Tano." Like she's gonna show him, and then maybe something's gonna happen. And then those are the really big obvious ones. I don't see anything. I think Shin's gonna play it safe and just kind of learn from Thrawn, and then I have a feeling that she's gonna be a more important character than we thought. I thought she's just gonna be an annoying Anakin female version, but she seems like she's gonna be around the actress because she is fairly young too. So
Mhm.
that's my other thing, and um, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's basically it. Those three. Those. Oh, and then of course the. I have a feeling that the skeleton crew, how they get back out is with the skeleton crew because they said that they were lost in that same region.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yep,
That's the only
that's
way I can
exactly what I
see.
was gonna say.
That's the only way I can see them getting out of there, or some sort of connection with like Grogu or Grogu or something like that through the Force. Um,
I
th-
agree with the
th-
skeleton thing.
yeah. So those are my predictions for episode 8. And the last thing I have to say is I'm happy that they're going with 8 episodes. This 6 episode thing was not flowing for me. I think
I
8
agree, but I think 10
Give
would
me
have been good.
10. Yeah, give me
Yeah.
10.
the 10, I mean we take the small victories. I'll take
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we'll go with, and hopefully they start increasing it to 10. But this shows that more episodes leads to better storytelling. So
Mhm.
that's also something I
Well,
want to mention.
well, what I'm gonna say is that I'm glad because I was watching you guys stream, and you guys said that Loki's gonna be prime time as well.
Yep.
Keep that up. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Keep
Yep.
giving us these prime time
Oh,
slots instead of 3 o'clock in the fucking morning from here, Eastern Standard Time. It's just like I ain't staying up to watch that shit anymore. So yeah, I like
Do
that.
you
Go ahead,
want people to talk about your stuff and make it interesting? I mean, then
facts.
do it at 6 o'clock. Do it at 8
oh,
o'clock.
one last thing.
100%.
I think the last few seconds will be like a Loki cliffhanger, where it's like, like kind of how like when we saw that statue of Kang at the end. I think we're gonna get
Mhm.
that kind of we're gonna get that kind of cliffhanger at the end of Ahsoka.
Mm.
That would make sense because especially if it's going to be tying into other stuff, I could see this. I could see there being some sort of cliffhanger. But I'm like Danny. I don't want to wait fucking 2 years for it to be resolved. You know what I mean? Like,
But it'll be resolved the skeleton crew.
yeah.
Skeleton crew. That's
When's
what
that
it'll
coming
resolve.
out?
Soon, right? Early
Is it?
2024.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Because I know all the shows coming up now are supposed to have this connectivity to it, right? So okay, I'll be cool with that. Just as long as I'm not waiting 2 years like Danny said. But go ahead,
Oh
Brian.
no, it's this year. Just no, December of this year.
Oh, it's December. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, Brian. So give us your grades and predictions.
So I definitely actually I give it a B plus. I enjoyed the entire episode. Just I have some nitpicks because I really enjoy these characters. Even though I think Ezra should have been more powerful. He should have been working on his force for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
He should have been asked Sabine. So hey, what's going on? He should have Thrawn should be more powerful, but I understand everything that is going on, and I'm enjoying what the ride. And I
Mm-hmm.
I, I think Balin's going to die. I really do think that Balin's going to the demise of Balin. Yeah, so like he will no longer be living in this. Uh, I guess it'd be universe or whatever, multiverse or whatever you want to say. In this, and maybe he tries to release it, and then he gets sucked into where they actually are from.
Mm-hmm.
Into that, somehow he no longer exists. So I think that's what's going to end up happening. I like the idea that Thrawn maybe kills Balin, and then that's throws Shin towards the good side, which would be very interesting. I don't think they make it off of here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Thrawn doesn't make it to the exactly his destination too. Somehow he gets knocked off his destination a little bit. So by the time they do get there with the skeleton crew, Thrawn has only been there for a month or so. So it's not like this long period of time that Thrawn's been destroying everything and messing up the New Republic, because it has to make sense with what's happened in the rest of the series. So it has to make sense. So I feel like Thrawn can't be there too long without Ahsoka being there.
Mm-hmm. And I
You know,
agree
so
with you 100%. I think maybe they all get stuck there, right? They realize
exactly,
the only way to stop Thrawn from getting there is to stop all of us from getting back. You know what I mean?
exactly,
And then we
exactly.
have a couple of, like, I guess, the series coming up, like Skeleton, whatever, where they're maybe looking to get there to find them or help them, whatever. And then when we get the movie is right before the movie, they get back to the original galaxy, and then we get the era of the Empire there, right? That would make
Exactly.
a lot of sense. Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree with that. I'm gonna give it a B plus too as well. Like I said, I really enjoy this series. I think to me, like I know a lot of people like Rogue One. I don't, but I wasn't a fan of it. But I think this is the best Disney Star Wars we have gotten. You know what I mean? Obi-Wan had some moments, but it just didn't kick like this. This one is kicking for me. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I said it. I said if Ahsoka doesn't do it for me, I'm done. Well, thank you, Ahsoka, because I don't gotta leave Star Wars yet. I can sit there and be like, okay, now at least I know you have potential to do something good, right? Because that potential was getting lost in a lot of these movies and shows. Much as people love Mandalorian, that last season was just like,
It was not that good. Yeah.
and even the seasons before, it just kept felt like side quest, side quest, side quest, side quest, and I'm just like, yeah, I had enough of this, right? So now when I'm watching this, I'm like, yeah, this feels like a series. This feels like how you should do a series. I still think they have some issues with the way they do their series, but overall, this feels like the best kind of series that they've done so far. Even with the Marvel stuff, I think Secret Wars Secret Invasion was really good. That felt like a series, but the rest of them to me kind of felt like they tried to make a movie and just cut it up in pieces and stuff like that. But this one actually feels like a series, so I'm enjoying that. Um, as predictions, I said like the things that I think could happen, where maybe Balin comes back, Thrawn kills him, or some. There has to be some way for me to think, because I don't think Shiv dies. So I think there has to be some way for her to be trained by either Ahsoka or Ezra or something like that. Maybe they get stuck on the planet, she's stuck there with them, and that's when she becomes, what, we got to do this to survive because Thrawn is a batter. Or maybe it's Balin. Maybe Balin turns into something that's crazy and they all have to fight him. Like they even have to
They
fucking
have to
work
come
with
together
Thrawn.
to be able to
You know
figure it
what I
out.
mean? Yeah, they
Yeah,
even have
I
to
like
come
that.
together with Thrawn, right? And Thrawn's like, we'll do this for now, but when it's over, it's gonna be something because there's something with Balin, and I don't think that they're just doing that just to kill him or anything like that. I think that he's doing what he's doing because he's gonna probably be a big bad going forward. So that would be
I
interesting.
like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, I think that I sometimes I sit there and I'm like, man, sometimes feels like we can come up with better stories than they can. You know what I mean? So at this point, the fact that the stuff is good, I'm just hoping don't drop the ball, guys. Tuesday is the day. Please don't drop the ball, man. And I am okay if they end it with a cliffhanger, as long as it's like, holy shit, I can't wait to see what happens. I don't mind them ending with a cliffhanger, 100%. I just said Ahsoka brought you back. Do yourself a favor and don't watch Andor. I didn't. No, 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 no. I did not watch Andor. I watched the first two episodes and I was done. That was it. Too late, children. I think everybody's a rush. Yeah, not the whole thing. Not the whole thing. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna close it up. I want to get JG. Shout out your channel. Where can they find you, sir?
Wednesday nights on the OOC with the great Onzo, the great Roberto, and the amazing, the outstanding, the superstar, always strong in the force, always man of the
Wait,
hour,
check in clear.
Danny.
Check in clear.
Oh, he's okay,
you know.
okay. Catch with my homie Superwise talking that geek stuff and Niners.
Oh Lord, Warren.
You can find me on Twitter, and I am the amazing, the astounding, the great ever, the powerful Sith Lord, speaking facts, not feelings on Twitter. That's all.
And Brian.
Hey, I'm Brian the Grizzly, 1/3 of Spoiler Kings. I'm not any of those great things. I am just someone who watches a lot of nerd stuff and comes up with these opinions. And I love to talk about it. This is just fun. Everything about this is awesome, and this is the best thing to do, man. To be able to talk about things that you usually have to think about yourself, and you can talk with your friends, and it's great. So thank you, Anzo, for
Absolutely.
doing this, man. It's awesome.
Oh man, thank you guys for coming. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys, man. I wish Tank could have been here a little bit more often, but I understand life gets in the way. Not a problem. I can't wait to do the train to boot. You see what's on there, right?
Yeah.
You see what's on my screen, right?
Train to
I
Busan.
can't wait to do the
Loved it.
train to
Love it.
Busan with you guys, man. That's just gonna be lit.
Oh
Guys,
my goodness, it's so fun.
Halloween, they're gonna be doing some movie reviews, old school ones, guys. So make sure to check that out.
Oh,
Okay.
Everybody's channel is in the description. There will be no intro because I'm already late. So outro, so I'm already late. Got to go over to my next stream. But thank you, everybody, once again. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
see ya.